Deadlock just released a massive balance patch, adjustments to all new characters, old characters, item changes, and much more. In this video, we're gonna go over everything. Biggest winners, biggest losers, and what the new meta is gonna be. Let's get right into it. Deadlock just released the biggest balance update we ever had, and that is not clickbait. I just spent 2 hours reading through the entire patch, and yeah, if you want an idea of what the patch is, this is it. This is it. So, I could go over everything, but then the video would be 3 hours. So I'm gonna give you the biggest winners and losers of this patch from first impressions. There's like 20 hero reworks in here. There's some absolutely batshit crazy shit. And I'll give you the crazy heroes first. And we'll start with Wraith. Wraith got a complete rework to her cards. There's 4 different sorts of cards. Spades increases your damage. Clubs slow the enemy, then there's one that shreds the enemy for 8%, so both spirit and bullet resistance of them will be reduced, and one of them heals you, okay, as Wraith. And then there's a bonus card which is called a Joker, and what the Joker does, it does all of them a buff. And when you build cards, you will get them randomly, okay? And once you level them up to max level, every single suit will be improved, so it will be more slow, more bullet shred, you can see it, more movement slow, more heal, and there's going to be a higher chance of Jokers. On base level, the chance is less than 10%, and higher up, it's going to be a higher chance. And this is kind of what this looks like. So when you throw the card, you can see which card is the next one. This one is Spade, so it does bonus damage. This one is going to slow the enemy. And yeah, when you shoot, you build them up. New sound effects. And if we get lucky here, we have the Joker. And now the Joker is in our hand. And now if I throw the next card on an enemy, what's going to happen is he's going to be slowed, he's going to take bonus damage, he's going to be shredded, and I'm going to heal. All of that. So, absolutely crazy buffs to Wraith. I really like what they did with the cards. In other news, full auto now gives you infinite ammo on max level. So that's a thing. So while full auto is active, which it also will be active for longer now, it gives you max ammo. It also got buffed for yourself. It doesn't work on your allies anymore. And if that wouldn't be enough, telekinesis is now completely different. It now instantly casts, so the enemy won't be able to get away. And it works like kind of like a budget lash ult. So you cast, and then you can target on where you want the enemy to go. And it's gonna lift them up, do the damage, and then boop them wherever you want. Which, obviously a crazy buff. Wraith ult was a bit weak before. So TLDR, Wraith is crazy broken. Now you might think this looks completely overpowered. Until you realize that every other character in the game, or most characters in the game, also got major buffs. The new characters got slight adjustments. Apollo got slight nerfs, Celeste got slight nerfs, Silver got quite some nerfs, Veneter did not get changes at all. So the new heroes are gonna feel very similar to what they are now, but for old heroes is where they really change. Victor, for example, all his abilities got stronger. Pain Barrier does more damage, has longer range. Jumpstart is a bit weaker, but has more charges, or lower cooldown, I should say. And the ultimate now gives you fire rate and spirit damage per bullet on base on level 1. Which means if you die, you put 1 point in ult, and you're gonna have a higher fire rate, and you're gonna do bonus spirit damage to the enemy. And it didn't work there because I had it off cooldown. So overall, Victor, a lot stronger. His base bullet damage also got a lot stronger, which means you're not going to rely on aura suffering as much. That's actually the only ability on Victor's kit that got nerfed a bit. But Victor is going to be very strong. If you want to talk about the biggest winners of the patch, there's 2 that really stand out. One is Pocket. I could go over all the changes. There are a lot, but to give you a TLDR, you can now cast Mirage and use your cloak and your satchel during the cast and keep the cast active. It does more damage. Flying cloak does more damage, okay? Does more weapon damage on hits. Satchel does more damage overall and slows the enemy fire rate and movement speed on max level. And Affliction prevents all healing on max level. Okay, so it will be worse on base levels, but if you hit this max and you hit the entire enemy team, they will not be able to heal, which guarantees you basically a free team fight win in the late game. So Pocket, my first prediction, Pocket is going to be absolute S tier in this patch. Absolutely crazy character. Another character that will be absolute S tier is Mirage. Mirage got changes that make all of his abilities a lot stronger. So Fire Scarabs now works on a charge, so you don't have to cast all 4 in a time span. And the health steal triggers instantly. So if I throw this on the enemy, they're gonna lose health, and I'm gonna gain health instantly. It only works once per hero, so you can't stack 4. But if you hit this on multiple heroes, you will get a lot of max life, and you will steal a lot of max life from the enemy. Just a lot better. Plus, it now takes... it now amplifies the damage the enemy takes when you put Fire Scarabs on them. So this ability went from very weak to like insanely strong. Same for Tornado. You can now recast Tornado on max level without Echo Shard. So you Tornado, and then you have a cast time, and you can cast it again. And I guess it's not called Tornado anymore, even though Mirage screams Tornado. It's called Dust Devil, okay? So what you can do is, if you like Echo Shard, right? You can put this on a 2, and now you can have 4 tornadoes. 2, you run a bit, you do another, and then you use Echo Shard. And then you have another tornado, and then you have another tornado for 1 Echo Shard. Then Jin's Mark got buffed. It does more damage. And it stuns enemies on max stacks. Because this ability definitely did need buffs. Yeah. And now the ult also got completely reworked. The ult is not channeling anymore, which means you can cast this and you will still be able to walk around. But the cool thing now is you can target the map. You can target any point in the map. You don't have to teleport to an enemy or an ally. If I want to teleport over here, I do this. I can still do anything I want. And when the timer is up, I will teleport and teleport the new spot. Plus, it now gives me barrier when I teleport instead of fire rate, so I will be a lot more tanky when I come into the fight, which means this is gonna be even stronger if you use this actively to get into the fight. Now, one nerf with it is if you get hit while you are channeling the tornado or while it's casted, right? If you get hit by anything, it means it will get cancelled. So it will be a bit weaker to escape with it, okay? So if you have an enemy and they shoot you during the cast, let's say, oh, I want to run, right? And they want to shoot you during the cast, as soon as 1 bullet hits you, it will get cancelled instantly. So Traveler, better on a aggressive level, worse for escaping, but again, escape on Mirage got buffed because you can now cast double tornado, right? So it really will not actually affect the hero much. So Mirage is my second pick for absolute S tier hero in the new patch. Doorman is back and probably stronger than ever.
Strive for perfection.
To give you a TLDR, Call Bell does more damage on average, okay? Like on every level, especially in lane, it does more damage. On max level, you can keep it up, and while it's active, it will slow the enemies that walk in it. But in practice, you probably won't use this much because you want to explode it right away. Luggage cart got an increased hitbox, so it's even easier to hit enemies with it. Now, the craziest change is the ultimate, okay? So, the ultimate now stuns enemies if they fail checkout, okay? It also slows them on base when they come out of checkout. And if the enemy fails to check out when you are in ultimate, the cooldown will be reduced to 10 seconds. Not by 10 seconds, to 10 seconds, okay? So I cast this on an enemy.
I'll take you to your room.
We're on a 95-second cooldown. I forgot it also gives you unstoppable for the entire time, by the way. But once the enemy comes out and fails to check out, you can now instantly cast Hotel Guest again on max level. So, yeah. This character is a lot stronger. And because he is a lot stronger in lane, a lot of the older characters laning got buffed. He's gonna feel a lot better throughout the game. The bigger deal, honestly, on Hotel Guest is really that you're unstoppable while the enemy is in, right? So if you're in a fight, nobody can stun you. You can get away for free. You can do whatever the fuck you want while you have someone imprisoned. And if you want to see what this feels like on the other side, I'll show you real quick. Just to make it clear how dead you really are if you fail the checkout now, okay? So if I get Doorman ulted on any character, which it also takes an extra stamina for me now,
Hello,
right?
darling.
So let's say I'm a Calico and I get Doorman ulted. 1 stamina is gonna get lost. And let's say I fail the checkout because I don't have stamina. I'm gonna be slowed, and this is on base level. Now, I'll show you what this looks like on max level. So now again, same spiel. I failed to escape. I'm gonna get stunned after I get out of the doorway. So do not fail your escapes, because Doorman will get his ult back instantly and you will die, guaranteed. Okay, so it's absolutely essential to escape against Doorman. Another character that got crazy changes in the ultimate especially is Paradox. So Paradox now has a new upgrade on max level that says swap all enemies within 7 meters and it takes 10% of the current health. So if you're in the late game and you're looking for a swap and there's enemies kind of close together, this is what it looks like. You can swap the entire enemy team. And as you just saw, the radius is actually quite forgiving, right? You will have fights where you will swap like multiple people automatically because they're going to be kind of close together. And yeah, if you swap multiple, obviously that's going to be an insane teamfight win condition for your team. It's going to be especially insane in mid-boss, right? Because if everyone is hovering around the Rejuvenator, you just come in as Paradox, swap the entire enemy team out of the pit, and then you steal all mid-bosses and they're fucked. So, Paradox, massive buffs to the ultimate. Time Wall is back to a charge meter. This used to be a case like a year ago. So now you can place 2 and they're a bit bigger. And it's very low cooldown, by the way. This is base cooldown. So technically you could go something like Rapid Recharge and have like 4 walls. That might be a bit overkill, but on max level you'll have 2. And you will do more weapon damage through them. And again, they're bigger and taller. Ivy also got pretty big reworks. So Entangling, the Katsu Bomb got renamed into Entangling Thorns. And what it does now is, on max level, if enemies get caught within it for longer than 2 seconds, they will get entangled, okay? So you can throw this on the floor. If they stay on it for too long, they will get entangled. On base level, it doesn't last that long, right? But once you build like duration, this is going to come into effect. Which means if the enemy doesn't get out of your Entangling Thorns, they will get rooted, they will die. Next up, Katsu Connection, rename. This now stays active at all times on max level. So this works on yourself. You will get the fire rate, you will get the bullet lifesteal and the replicate health. And if you have a teammate, it will stay active at all times. Throughout the entire game, it's a passive now. It's a 0-second cooldown, you don't have to cast it. So crazy buff to gun/carry Ivy. Or even on support if you have a carry that does a lot of bullet damage, right? Like you want to max this early and you can just like sit on your teammate. And yeah, they will have the connection active at all times. Drifter got a big rework to his Blood Scent. If you are killing anyone, or you get an assist on any kills, you will get the permanent weapon damage. It's now only 3% and not 4%, but that means if your teammate steals the kill, you will still get the maximum amount. Now, where this comes into play is, Ethereal Night now makes it that Blood Scent will always be active on the enemies that are isolated, okay? So if the enemy is hit by Ethereal Night, they will count as isolated even if there's an enemy directly next to them. Which means you will be able to use the bonus damage of Blood Scent against any enemies that are affected by Ethereal Night. Now another change, and this is a level 1 upgrade to Ethereal Night, by the way. You now get 10 meter sprint speed when casting it. So you can be across the map and hit the ult. You will see where they are, and as you can see, I am now the Flash, and I can get to the enemy within a second. So this is like really a setup initiation tool, and you will be directly on the enemy instantly, which is batshit crazy.
The darkness comes for you.
And yeah, that's a sprint speed bonus. There was some reworks to Rend. Rend is a bit weaker. Rend now, the bonus damage is now on the melee. So if you buy like Life Strike or Spirit Snatch, you need to be in melee range on Rend to hit it. Okay, so that's a nerf in lane especially early on. But on max level, it got a buff arguably. If you hit the close range, max range, the enemy will now get silenced. You won't get the bullet lifesteal anymore, but if you hit it, a free silence on the enemy for 2.3 seconds. Which means if Drifter hits his close range Rend on max level, it's gonna be very scary. Stalker's Mark also got a rework. It now doesn't have charges anymore, but it does healing reduction, more bleed. And yeah, overall probably better also, I want to say. So Drifter was already a really strong character before this patch. Might be absolute Thanos tier now. Another character that got an insane amount of buffs and is now a lot stronger, arguably S+ tier in the next few days, is Yamato. Yamato now does more damage with the power slash. If you max it to max level, it has an insanely increased cast range. And I mean insane. And this is on base level without items, okay? So it's now a sniper ability that goes across the map. Plus, you can now parry at any time if you're in the power slash, and it will instantly use the power slash and parry. So you press the parry button, you will instantly parry, plus get the damage out, which means in lane, if an enemy tries to like melee you while you're charging out the power slash, you can do the power slash damage and parry them, okay? The flying slash rework, whatever this was named before, now has multiple charges on max level, okay? And you can grapple to allies. So what you can do is, you can grapple in, right? And then within 3 seconds, because the cast is really short, you can just get out and like grapple to your ally. You're gonna be insanely mobile in fights. Plus, you now do melee damage when you arrive, okay? So it is now melee damage, which means you can buy items like Life Strike, like Spirit Snatch, melee items in this kit and use them without getting meleeed. The 3 also got a new buff where if you now hit it, you will do more melee damage to the enemy, which means you can hit the slash and then you too will do more damage. And any melees you do during the next 4 seconds will also do more damage. So Yamato will be a character that will weave in more melees, mostly light melees in fights. Which means, yeah, you might get parried more, right? Like, but like you have more damage potential in close range fights. The ultimate overall didn't get, like it got changed, but like it didn't get massively buffed or nerfed. Overall, definitely buffs to Yamato. And this character was already crazy in lane, and I want to say with these changes, she's even better. Calico as a new mechanic, where now if you kill an enemy within 4 seconds after hitting the leaping slash, you will get bonus gold for the kill, okay? So you can now farm bonus gold of the players. Plus the ultimate now doesn't give damage amp, but it now gives you healing if you max it to max level. So if you're low, you fight, you cast your ult, and once you come out of ult, you get the healing, okay? That's the new Calico ultimate. Gloom Bombs is now the first ability in the game that does damage to barriers. So the tier 2 got changed from just raw damage to more damage to barriers. Just in summary for the other characters, Abrams nerfs, and because every other character really got buffed, or most other characters got buffed, he will be a lot weaker. That's a good change. Apollo got slight nerfs, will still be solid. Billy, slight changes / nerfs. Celeste, slight nerfs to movement, slight nerfs to ultimate. Still gonna be a crazy character. Dynamo, again, a lot of smaller changes. Doesn't seem stand out right now from what I've seen. Again, I might be wrong here because, again, I've looked at the changes for 2 hours plus. And, yeah. You know, it's hard to judge all of this information that we're getting right now together. So that's what I would say are the standouts, and I'll save the best one for last. Infernus got crazy buffs. Afterburn is a lot more deadly. Early game it does more damage. You can level up to level 1 and it does more damage. Plus the max level Afterburn now makes the burn last for 5 business days. And I really mean 5 business days. I'll show this off real quick with Superior Duration, a core item. So the way it works now is, if you proc the burn, it will have the normal burn duration, but then you can increase it to an insane amount. And this is really an insanely long time, okay? And keep in mind, again, during all this time, right, you can extend the burn with still all your abilities. So it's gonna be way easier to keep the burn up, and if you hit like a lot of bullets first, the enemy will take a lot more damage. Plus, Flame Dash, some changes. Overall, it is just faster to cast on level 1. The cooldown is actually quite low now, if you get 1 point in the level 1. Which means stuff like Dash Infernus is also gonna be stronger again. Where if you have it maxed and you buy Rapid Recharge, the cooldown between charges is actually quite low. So I dash here. And then once the dash runs out, you know, in 5 to 6 seconds, I'll have another dash. So dash got better on Infernus, burn got better on Infernus, ultimate got slight changes, but Infernus definitely gonna be stronger, especially because he's a lot stronger in lane. Otherwise, overall, most ultimate cooldowns got increased. ultimate spam was a really big thing in this game. Most ultimates had to lower the cooldown, and I think Valve agreed here because they really made most cooldowns in the game longer. So that's the highlights of the heroes. Again, every other character got changed as well. I'll link the patch note in the description below. But let's talk about items real quick, because there's a completely new one, which is called Golden Goose Egg. Golden Goose Egg is a farming item. You buy it early, and it does nothing for you other than lowering your damage, all your damage by 10%. But the catch is, as long as you have this in your inventory, you will gain souls, and it's 75 souls per minute. And for every 200 souls this gives you, once you activate it and consume it, it will also give you a gold statue buff. Which means, if you let this run, if you buy this as first item in the lane, if you want to be greedy, right, and you let this run, every 2 minutes it's buffs, which means at around 10 minutes, assuming you buy this early at like minute 1, around 10 minutes, it will give you, you can do the math, 750 souls, and it will give you 4 gold statue buffs. So it will pay for itself after like 10 minutes. Now, if you keep this in your inventory longer, let's say 15 to 20, suddenly you will have around like double your money back, plus you will get the gold statue buffs. On paper, this seems kinda underwhelming right now in terms of numbers, I wanna say. I think it's a bit weak. It definitely will be better on like supports that mostly focus on their stuns, right? Because the 10% damage penalty while you have this in your inventory is going to be quite big. I would imagine this item will get buffed down the line, but it's a really cool idea to buy an item that really does nothing for you, other than the longer you have it, the more it gives you back, right? So, very cool new item. Okay. And this is what it looks like if you consume it. It shows you the number ticking up. You can consume it at any time. Boom. And it will give you, for every 200 souls it gave you, it will also give you a permanent gold statue buff. Kind of like the Sinners. Otherwise, overall, gun items got a lot of buffs. And again, there's so many that got buffs. It's gonna be quite hard to cover all of them, but I'll name you a few. Backstabber got renamed into Stalker, and Stalker now just works if you're close range. So if you're close range, it doesn't matter if you shoot them in the back or the front, it will proc. And it will do what Backstabber used to do, okay? But you have to be very close. In fact, it's like 8 meters, which in-game, this doesn't proc, right? You have to be very close. Okay, so this is like around the distance you need to proc it. So it's gonna be better on like melee characters that really chase you down. But on those characters, it will be a lot better. Billy, for example, right? Other big changes, Spirit Shredder bullets got buffed quite a bit. It gives you 4% more Spirit lifesteal on base level. Same for Spirit Rend. But the biggest buffs, and I think the most broken item in the game, might be Blood Tribute and Weighted Shots, okay? Blood Tribute, they removed the healing penalty completely, okay? So all it does now, it drains you for 50, but that means if you have any lifesteal to gain it back, you don't care. Right? You don't care about 50 HP a second drain if you lifesteal. So this is gonna be a crazy item on something like Wraith, where you buy your normal stuff, right? And then you buy your leech. And once you have your leech, right, you can buy this later down the line, activate it, and just keep it running in the fight. And it will just, you know, you will get more healing from your healing than this will drain. So it's all positive effects and really no downside anymore. So I don't want to say this is going to be the most broken item in the game and will get nerfed in like 2 days. So on the characters this works on, you probably want to use it on. And the second item that is crazy now is Weighted Shots. It now builds out of slowing bullets, and it gives you the slowing bullet effect, okay? And it gives you more weapon damage. The only downside is that it now doesn't give you the spirit resist anymore. But it gives you less stamina recovery penalty, and they removed the part where it gave you bullet slow, right? They removed the part where your bullet velocity would be lower. So this item is absolutely crazy. There's not much else to say. You buy this out of slowing bullets, you get the slowing bullet effect, you get the bonus damage from weighted shots, and you get the debuff resist with basically no downside. So this is a no-brainer item. And then if you want spirit resist, right, you buy the new changed spirit resilience, which also got buffed on most characters. It now procs below 50% health instead of 40. Only gives you 15% extra spirit resist, but this is going to be better on squishy characters. Only characters these two items will be worse on is tanks, okay? So, Weighted Shots and Blood Tribute are standout items. Spiritual Overflow, I forgot to mention when I was talking about Infernus. It got changed. It now gives you 20% duration, okay? Instead of 12% cooldown reduction. And it gives you 40 spirit power instead of 30. So this item also got massive buffs. It's gonna be absolutely crazy. Like, insane item. Another item that got completely changed. Siphon now steals a percentage of the enemy's health, okay? Instead of a flat amount. Before it was a flat amount. Now what this means is this is really an anti-tank item. The more HP the enemy has, the more this is gonna heal you. So if you go up against a really tanky target like an Abrams in the late game, right?
Stubborn to die.
And the Abrams is like really tanky. Let's give him like max level and like, you know, let's buy him the Abrams things where he just becomes really tanky. Let's give him a lot of greens just to show this off. It will always steal 2.5. Which means, as you see against this Abrams, it is like around 120 per tick that I will steal from him. Right? So obviously this is like the most drastic scenario, right? Like this guy's incredibly tanky. I gave him all the green items. So not every character in the game will be that tanky. It just means that the more tanky the enemy is, the more value we'll get out of Siphon Bullets by quite a lot, right? Like, you see the amount of HP I'm stealing is absolutely ridiculous, right? In a short amount of time. So, this is now an anti-tank item for sure. Siphon Bullets. Overall, again, there's so many changes in this patch. I can't cover all of them. But I'm really excited. This is going to shake up the meta massively in the next few days. We'll make new builds. The characters that will be meta will change, right? Like, it will change the meta drastically. That's about it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if I missed anything important. I'm sure I missed something important because so many changes. But really cool patch. I'm excited to play. Until next time. Okay.